Great. So I think we are live and the recording has started. Uh, Good evening, everyone. My name is Akhil Bhansali, and we are here today uh, to participate in a special journey, which I began very recently. And this is the series of conversation that I plan to have, named as Humans at Work. And for today's conversation, I'm very delighted, to be joined by very close friend of mine, with whom I happen to work I happen to work with a couple of years back in Pune, uh, Anusuya, and I would really invite Anusuya to introduce her. But before you do that, Anusuya, I really want to express my gratitude for accepting my invite and joining me on this episode number 2 of Humans at Work series, uh, and giving me this opportunity to have a time with you. So I'm really glad. Thank you.
I feel likewise. Thank you, Akhil, for giving me this opportunity. I feel so thankful that you have selected me. Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate. So before we begin with the introduction, um, uh, you know, with you, I just want to quickly offer the vision and the mission with which you know we at Agile Being have started this series. So the vision that we have for humans at work is: may every human feels human and stays human, no matter which organization that human works for. And to realize this vision, the mission that we are on is, we are on a mission of bringing stories of humans at work. And to realize that mission, uh, what we're trying to do is, we're trying to have conversations with humans from different walks of life who believe in being human first before being professional in the world of work. So, with that context set, let me invite Anusuya to offer your introduction to all our viewers today.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Akhil. So, as you know, I'm in IT industry for more than a decade now. But as a person, I'm someone who always takes pleasure in interacting with people. I always would like to genuinely understand anybody whom I'm involved in a conversation with.
Great.
So that wise, I think I have built very good relationship with people because I'm fortunate that people also recognized that this is my intention, that I really would like to build deep relationship with people.
Wonderful.
I have had a lot of disagreements with people. It's not that everyone whom I meet in life always agree to whatever I say, be it personal or professional life. There are a lot of disagreements with people, but they have always given me the space to genuinely express me,
Mm, mm,
be what I am.
mm.
Because
Absolutely.
I also have always given people that opportunity, I feel.
Mm, mm.
That's the reason I was able to have deep relationship with many, although on certain things we deeply disagree as well.
Okay. So
But still,
wonderful. So, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So one side, yes, there is a disagreement, but that disagreement leads to creating a better bond in that relationship.
right.
Yeah. Wonderful. Great.
So I'm always interested in knowing people, talking to them, interacting. So I'm that sort of a person. I'm definitely compassionate, which people have recognized and told me. So
Wonderful. Great to hear that. So Anusuya, as you're offering this, this introduction of yours, why don't you tell us a little bit about your childhood? Where you come from, uh, what was your childhood look like? What were your hobbies, and how did you reach to that? The journey from being that newborn baby to getting to a level of professional who's ready to work in the world of work. Yeah, can you share that, please?
Sure. So I was born in a place called Trichy town in Tamil Nadu. So then I was mostly brought up in another district, which is Erode, where most of the time of my childhood days were spent. I was raised there in that city, Erode. I did my schoolings there.
Hmm.
As you have noticed, when you started asking me this word, I mean, saying this word childhood, I automatically started smiling, which means
Yeah,
I have very good memories, yeah, in my
yeah.
childhood. So I had a great school life. All my school life was in only one school.
Mm,
So I did my complete schooling in one particular school. I'm still in touch with most of my school teachers.
mm,
I was an innocent kid,
mm.
trustworthy person from that day only. So from those days only. So I had a great childhood, and most of my childhood friends are still in touch with me.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's one of the very important qualities for feeling human. Don't you
Yeah.
think so? Yeah, because our friends
Yeah.
in the company of our friends, the intimate relations that we have and the intimate memories, the time that we shared, always bring back that natural human experience that we begin with in our lives.
Right. So one of the very close friend of mine, me and her name is Meenakshi. So we both are friends since 1995. It's going to be 25 years now.
Wow,
Yeah.
silver
So
jubilee.
from
Yeah.
post-standard until date, we are in touch and we share anything and everything with each other. So that's sort of a relationship I have with people. Yeah,
Mm,
with
mm.
my childhood friends. So
And if you plan to do Silver Jubilee, please do invite me because it's very easy to join from
yeah,
anywhere, right?
I should talk to her. I should tell her about this, that I spoke about her and our relationship. So I really have fond memories of my school days.
Wonderful,
Yeah. And one
wonderful.
more thing, I'm just able to recall is that just 3 years ago, I went to my school, taking my son along and my husband along. I
Hmm.
went on a non-working day, on a Sunday, just to show my husband and my son where did I study.
Mm,
Just because that was a non-working day, I thought I did not expect anyone to be around. But one of my teachers, school teachers, she came to conduct a special class,
mm.
and from far away distance, she could recognize me. She came looking at us with a smiling face. She
Mhm.
addressed me by name. 15
Wow,
years, yeah, after 15 years, we see she came running to me, addressing me by name, and she also recognized my sister. She said, she also spelled my sister's name and asked me, how is she? And how come you're here after these many years? So
mm.
these are things that I can never forget. And I took pictures of the school. I mean, me and my family, we went around the school corridor, we took pictures. So, yeah.
That's amazing. A really magical experience to have a teacher come to us and just call our name as if it feels like you're in the class and
That's what I'm saying. My sister also studied in the same school, who is 2 years elder to me, senior to me. So
yeah.
she was able to recognize my sister's name and ask me, how is she, by mentioning her name. So
Amazing. So what kind of impressions, what kind of impressions that you have made? And it's really special to be remembered by our teachers after so many years. I could certainly
very
feel
true.
what you're feeling in the moment, Anusuya. I'm really glad for you to share that stories. And these are wonderful stories for all of us to listen to because these are the experiences that build our humanness as we continue to grow in our life. Uh, Great. So thank you for giving us.
That's what I continue to have. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, where I am, how much ever short period I have been with that particular person, I should create an impact such that they don't forget me at all.
Wow.
So,
Wow. Wonderful. Uh, so, so with that childhood experience that we have from Anusuya now, we would like to know a little bit about your professional journey, right? Where you are right now, what are your roles and responsibilities, and how are you making difference in the world through your work?
yeah. So if you have noticed, I told that all my school life was in one particular school. Although my parents shifted to different cities, they wanted me to be put in the same school.
Mhm.
In contrast to my school life, my professional life had a lot of different places. I had to travel to many different places, sometimes by choice or sometimes I mean, I feel it's destiny.
Mm.
So I have worked in three different countries so far. I started my career in India with Hewlett Packard in 2009, and then
Mm-hmm.
I moved to Cognizant. I worked there for a few years. Then I went to Singapore to do my master's. I did my MTech software engineering from National University of Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked in Singapore for 3 years. During my master's itself, I had to work for one organization as an intern, A-Star, HPC, and then with Autodesk for 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then I came back to India. Originally, I'm from Tamil Nadu. I was brought up there, born and brought up there. But this time when I came back from Singapore, I went to North India. I worked in Tri-City, Mohali, Chandigarh, Panchkula, all these three cities I worked for three
Wonderful.
different companies.
Mm.
So until that point in time, I have only worked for companies which are which are which had good process, I would say. I mean,
Okay.
CMMI level 5 companies, well
Okay.
established MNCs.
Mm.
So then I started working for startups or mid-sized companies.
Mm.
That was a career shift, I would say. I mean, I started having the flavor of both Fortune 500 companies as well as startups.
Mm.
So in startups, I really had to be a versatile person. Although by designation we are asked to do one job, but in our day-to-day life we have to be on multiple roles. That was challenging to me at the beginning, but I really enjoyed it because
Mm.
it was offering me a great learning experience. I
Mm.
had to lead, so that was I was learning a lot, I would say,
Mm.
in my experiences with startups.
Mm. So what?
Then
Mm. Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
So post that, I started doing freelance consulting for a very short stint. I worked as an agile coach in Pune, and that's when I happened to meet Akhil.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So as I told, every person whom I have met, most of them I'm still in touch. Somehow I'm fortunate to have that. God has blessed me that way. So one such person is Akhil, whom I met 2 years ago, and still our journey is continuing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is
I'm re-
continuing.
I'm really glad, Anusuya, to meet you. Even I started my consulting career, and that was my first assignment as an independent consultant. So, so when I begin and I look back to my journey of independent consultant, I would really say that I really felt more human in your company. So thank you so much, for offering that experience in my independent consulting career, because that's a memory I'm going to remember for lifetime.
Sure. Thank you, Akhil.
Great.
I felt so. That's why, I mean, we are like-minded, and that's why our journey is continuing for so long, I feel.
Yeah. So
And post that, yeah, thank you. Post that, I started working as an agile consultant for our client in UAE. I may not be able to disclose the name of the client, but I'm here in Abu Dhabi as an agile consultant. Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful, great. So rich experience. One in terms of the variety, in terms of the places that you work, the organizations that you work, and also moving from being an employee to be an independent consultant and then the agile consultant. And I'm sure that the journey itself has uh, offered you so many stories, which we would like to listen to today, as we move along in this conversation.
Yeah. So few things are by my choice and few things are destined, as I told you. So as a person, I would like to interact with people, and as we all know, change is the one that doesn't change in life. So I have experienced a lot of changes. I have to move to different places, different teams. I have to work with different culture, global exposure. All of these I had in the last 11 years of my IT industry career. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So that's I'm really privileged and I'm blessed, I would say. Yeah. What I wished for has happened naturally.
Wonderful. Great. Great. Thank you for sharing that, Anusuya. So that kind of, brings us to a place where I know you and I have known you personally. But as you offered it to our viewers, I'm sure that they will also feel personally connected to you through your experience, through the places that you visited. People who are watching us from maybe UAE would feel like Anusuya is here with us and she's our human companion, right? So wonderful, great for you to paint that picture and bring us uh, alive of the memories that you lived till today. Okay, so before we begin, I would say not serious conversation, but a little more specific about this series, right? Uh, so the first question I have, as we begin for that, few questions I have for you to hear the stories from you. What is the first thing that came to your mind when you heard about this Human at Work series by Agile Beings?
It sounds fascinating to me. As I told you, I'm interested in people and getting to know people and getting to know whys of what they do. So it really sounded fascinating to me. But at the same time, I was also wondering, like, why specifically this topic now?
Mm.
So, which means, do we think that humanizing organization is somewhere missing? Is that a missing element right now? Is that why is it gaining popularity? If not, is it existing? And what benefits do we reap out of it? Why is it of importance now?
Mm. Mm.
So, has that got any correlation to what we are experiencing as world citizen because of this pandemic? What relation has it got with what we are currently undergoing?
Mm.
So that's what I started thinking about. But anyways, I was definitely interested in talking about this topic because naturally I'm a person who's interested in knowing about people. Yeah.
Mm. Great. Thank you for sharing that reflection. And I think a lot of questions also that appear to you, what I hear, when I just introduce this topic to you. And that the reason I started on this mission very specifically is, I believe that finally the culture in the organization or the identity of the organization is made by the humans who are operating, right? And even in my personal career, I feel that wherever I felt more human, I was able to offer my 200% to the the work that I was doing, right? So and you also rightly said that in the current situation where now we are hit by a pandemic, and it's a different world for all of us. So this all of us, which is the humanity, is got affected, and the word humanity actually came into place because of this worldwide havoc, that this invisible monster has generated. Um, so thank you for offering that reflection, and let's see and let's explore. So I'm glad, to hear your perspective on uh, what did you think when you heard about this. And as and one thing that comes to me is, I think we all are exploring right now. We may not have right answers for anything, right? But we're just trying to think about it, and trying to maybe create what comes out when we discuss you know this with one another. So that's the larger intention, to just have conversations like this and see what comes out, for us to then concretize this possibility of humanizing organizations.
Right.
Yeah, perfect, thank you. So the second question I have for you is, why is it important, for employees to feel human first within any organization setup? Why do you think that it is important?
It is absolutely important. Why? I'll tell you, because what makes an organization, it's the people inside the organization. If the people inside the organization are working for some other people outside, because I come from IT background, so I speak for myself to begin with.
Mm.
So I don't see IT industry as a standalone industry at all. IT industry is always a support system for some other industry. Maybe you are working for fintech domain, I'm working for education domain. So for some other industry, we are always an enabler. So if I have to enable some other business to perform better, I'm trying to help them. So if I have to help some other organization, which means some other set of people to do their business better, I should be able to understand them better.
Anusuya?
Involved in that organization. When the people inside the organization are trying to talk to some other people and solve their problem, if you don't feel that you are being treated as humans, you will never be able to solve anybody's problem. Then the mere existence of the organization itself has to be questioned. When can I feel I'm Anusuya and I have certain principles, values? When can I feel that I'm myself? When I engage in a conversation or when I do something wherein I can express myself completely. I shouldn't have any inhibition at all. Whatever I feel like saying at one particular moment in a conversation, I should be able to say what I feel. I shouldn't be having any hesitation at all. So when in an organization, if people have this hesitation that I will not be able to express myself right, I have to hold my ideas, I have to hold my views, I have to hold my opinion. If I express this, if I say this openly, although it is the right thing to do, I will be penalized by my people above. So then there is no creativity. There won't be any innovative ideas coming up. You won't hear people at all. Whether they have positive ideas to share or whether they have problems to share of their opinion from their side, they will not open up. So that openness, open culture will not be there in an organization when you don't treat them as humans. For somebody to feel they are treated as human, give them the space and the time to express themselves what they are. So that way I feel it's definitely important for an organization to treat humans as humans.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of words that as you were speaking I was capturing. It's like expression, creativity, innovation, understanding, openness. And
Right.
one word that stuck with me is treating. How are we treating one another, right? So when you say treatment that is being offered by organization to employees or by one set of humans in the organization to other set of humans in the organization, actually, right? So if you look at the that second thought, what I really believe that organization as an entity gets diluted when we consider this thought that humans are transacting with other set of humans or collaborating with other set of humans, and when they come together it can be two people forming an organization, and finally organization has this vision, mission, and then to realize that vision, mission, which is that container, human beings, they embrace that vision and then start working towards the mission, which then creates the identity of the organization. So probably a little difficult to visualize with words. If we could have pictures and we could paint it, but these are the clouds that I've got.
Like I said, what is an organization? It's the people involved, right? So every individual have to take that responsibility that if I'm entering an organization, I'm going to deal with multiple other people. So I do not want anybody to be treated the way I do not want myself to be treated. So
yeah, absolutely.
Right, that mindset should be there in every single person. So it starts with every individual.
Wonderful, thank you. So with that, like, great couple of questions and a lot of stories coming in, and we're just building up, I think, our common understanding around this topic of what does that humanizing an organization means. The other question I have for you, Anusuya, now is, what is your personal story when you felt fully human, and what really made you feel so in an organizational context?
So I'm able to recall one incident in one of my previous experience, not in the current one, wherein I had to apply for leave. So I told my manager that I want leave. Then, as usual, they were asking me like, "What is the reason?" So, without any hesitation, I told them that I'm not enjoying the work at the moment.
Mm.
I'm mentally occupied. I feel exhausted with what is happening in the team.
Mm.
I need leave for 2 days to contemplate how should I be fixing it.
Mm.
Being on the job, being in that problem, I will not be able to do that. But I need leave to contemplate, think about, move out of the problem space, and then come up with a solution. So I was able to openly admit.
Mm.
So that culture, that particular organization had.
Mm.
Like I told you, I was given that opportunity, not explicitly, but I felt I can take that opportunity and I will not be mistaken. I didn't have the fear of conflict. What if I would say this? I told whatever I felt. I have a trouble with tea. Right now, being in that problem space, I cannot find out a solution. I need 2 days of leave to think about. I'm mentally exhausted now.
Mm.
Why don't you give me time?
Mm.
Then he was offering me help. Do you think I can support you in coming out of this? I said, please give me 2 days time. Let me think about. If still I don't come up with a solution, I will definitely ask you.
Mm. Mm.
So if you try applying for leaves through any of your official portal, you will definitely not have any of these reasons mentioned.
Mm.
Maybe you have some family need. So nothing of these are mentioned in any of the official portals.
Mm.
But so does that mean we don't face any of these situations?
Mm.
Not right. Maybe you would have encountered such a situation in your experience, right? In
Yeah.
these many your experience, you would have definitely felt. I felt you are just
Yeah.
there's some problem you're undergoing with the team which you do not want to openly discuss right now, but you want to contemplate and then come up with a solution. Maybe you know how to solve it yourself. You don't want
Mm.
to make it a big issue
Mm.
outside your.
Mm.
No, you can solve it. But
Mm.
just because you're emotional at that time, you think you cannot solve. But you should be able to at least admit that, freely tell or discuss it with your peers that I'm
Mm.
undergoing
Mm.
without any uh, that you should be able to openly tell that to them.
Mm.
I'm undergoing so and so problem with
Mm.
my team.
Mm.
It is not to attack. Maybe you are undergoing this problem with a particular person in the team, that you don't have to attack that person, but you
Mm.
should be able to admit this is what I'm undergoing without any hesitation.
Yeah.
If organization is giving you that freedom or the liberty to tell what you think
Mm.
genuinely,
Mm.
not take these as advantage for you,
Mm.
but genuinely, if you are able to express this, then I think, uh, I mean, the organization is treating you as a human. As a
Mm.
human, you are prone to face all of these. Let them give them that time and space now.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that story. That's you
Twice
know,
or thrice has happened. Yeah.
that brings me to an idea that how so much it is important for us to be able to speak what we think and feel, and then express it to our peers, our maybe colleagues or our subordinates, or even to our leaders, the people leaders in an organization, and have that faith that this expression will not lead to any other meaning creation. It will be, uh,
Think
considered.
about, will
Yeah,
I be judged? So what will be the repercussions of it? What in those 2 days people will be thinking of me? I mean,
yeah,
I
correct.
didn't think of.
Hmm. Correct. So if you're able to do that,
So
hmm, if you're able to do
I was
that,
able,
sorry.
when I was able to
Hmm.
express myself. Yeah, sorry to cut you short. So when I was able to express myself the way I wanted to, I was even well received. So I was
Hmm.
given that time. I was able to sort out the problems myself.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, very powerful story. I think it's important that everybody's given that space and time to reflect, and it must be respected when somebody asks within an organization, ask for this kind of a timeout. uh,
Right.
and just offering them that space without even seeking the reason, and respecting their judgment of this is the time that they need to reorganize their internal furniture, to renovate their thinking space and come back fully rejuvenated to
More
start.
importantly,
Yeah.
if I'm telling to my boss that I have a problem with my team, it is
Hmm.
his problem also eventually, right? If it doesn't get solved, it's going to manifest in some other issues and it's going to be eventually his problem. But he still trusted me that, oh, she has a problem. She says that she will be able to resolve it if we give her that 2 days time.
Mm.
So
Mm.
they did not compel me to explicitly mention what that issue was.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
They trusted me that it will be solved. They did not even tell me that, oh, if you don't tell us now, it might resurface again and we will have to come and solve. They
Mm.
trusted me. So
Mm.
that way I felt, oh, I was given importance and I was able to express what I wanted to.
Mm.
So,
So one takeaway I have from this story is, when the trust has been offered to you, right, you felt more human.
right, right.
Yeah. Mm. Wonderful. Wonderful. Lovely. So, with that, I'm coming to another, question for you to just share what comes to you. And the question is, how will you? So you actually shared, the answer to my next question, which is, what change did you notice for yourself when you felt being more human within the organization context? What change, right? So with this story, uh, when you felt
So with this,
more, yeah.
I was able to express myself.
Mm.
And when people got to know of such thing, then it naturally built trust in each other. So people also started expressing this is how I feel. Because
Mm.
maybe others in the team are not as open as I am.
Mm.
But we gave them the opportunity that, okay, even for such reasons, people are given opportunity to take avail leave and have their own space to solve their own problems.
Mm.
So people started changing. So
Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah, they
once,
were able to express.
yeah. So once you portrayed that behavior, and given it
Right.
comes to you naturally, and the way it has been received, that at least set an example for others who might be contemplating that, can we say this, or can we ask for this kind of a timeout? And this offered an example to them to at least become comfortable with that thought, that it is possible. And wonderful. Wonderful. Great. Thank you. So, Anusuya, now, we got these stories from you, and we have, come to a place where I think we reflected the importance, what are the benefits that it offers, and how it helps you as an individual who's working in an organization, and at a larger context, the organization itself, right? So, let me give you one responsibility to consider.
Sure.
So, let's say you have been given this opportunity and a responsibility to humanize an organization, right? How would you approach, this responsibility, this task?
Sure. So it makes me think of one statement I read very recently somewhere. So it says, if at all there is anything important in leadership, it is the words they use.
Mm.
Right. So I have this strong belief that words are powerful.
Mm.
Uh, it's an expression of what you are,
Mm.
explicit expression of what you are. So, if I am given that responsibility, I will be carefully crafting my words so that in every communication of mine, I am giving this message to people that I am there for you, I am approachable.
Mm.
What problems you have, what ideas you have, do not have any hesitation. I will not explicitly say that, but in my behavior, in my words, in any form of communication I have with my people, I will give them this reassurance that I'm there for you. Likewise, please make yourself approachable and be available for anybody else to come and talk to you. Keep yourself approachable, be open for ideas, be open to listen to problems of others. We are all one. So building that feeling of oneness in the organization. Although we have hierarchy, and it is important in an organization just to say who is responsible for what, when it comes to expression of yourself and your ideas, it's a flat organization. That's how it should operate. So that reassurance I'll try to give them in any form of communication I have with them. I will not be telling this explicitly, but I will definitely try to seed this thought in them that there is this person who is there for us to talk to and express our ideas, problems, whatever. I will be patiently listening to them. I'll definitely express that by my behavior with them, by my communication. So that assurance I first wanted to give them. So that automatically the culture of openness, trust, everything builds in. So if I offer something to somebody, I feel that it will be like a chain reaction. When somebody approaches them, say for example, person A comes to me, expresses some of his ideas or his problems to me. I may not be able to resolve their problem, but I would have offered them time, which that person A would be able to do for person C. That person C would have experienced that. He will be offering it to someone else. So it all starts with an individual, and as a chain reaction, it will go through. So I will definitely not be explicitly telling them, which I feel will not bring that confidence. But in every communication, somehow I'll try to, by my behavior. So even in parenting, that's what I believe. You have to lead people by example, not by your words. You be what you want to, what your child to be. That's when they actually become what you want them to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't tell them that you be so and so, but you be that person. So by looking at me, my son also will become that. So that's sort of a leader I want to be.
Great reflection, and I'm really glad what just came out as I was listening to you is the words came out the first, and then oneness, the openness, the trust, the assurance, and be the change you want to.
Without say one small example I'd like to say, like being a parent is definitely being a leader at home, right? So if I want my son to read books, and if I want to cultivate reading habits in him, I don't go and tell him that go read books. I don't allot time. I will not tell him anything by words. I'll go in front of him, I sit, take a book, I read. I won't tell him anything. I will definitely not ask him to read. I'll do that consistently. I'm reading by example. He looks at me, he becomes what I am. That is how, at profession, I will have that motherly care, that I do what my employees, what people around me, I am expecting them to do. I will first do that. Looking at me, so I strongly believe in that.
And the very powerful phrase that came in as you just expressed that, Anusuya, which is motherly care. And that's really, really powerful. What I'm just thinking is, in our childhood, the care that we get from our mothers, which is more of an emotional care, right? Which allows us to be, to be nurtured as a human being through love, through that care of, uh, respect that mother offers, and acceptance in the way
So
we are. Yeah.
why I said that word is, there are two things that a mother will have. They
Mm.
always want their to do something. They won't be judgmental whether they do it or not. Irrespective of whether the kids follow it or not, they won't be judgmental. They won't penalize. So that sort of a leadership quality is what I would like to see in me. And if I'm given that opportunity, I will be practicing that. I want to
Wonderful.
lead by example. I will not penalize or judge people whether they follow it or not, but I will continue to do what I have to offer.
Wonderful. Great reflections, and a lot of, powerful ideas coming up, which I think it's important for us to ponder upon. I would not say, we have got something which is very clearly laid out to humanize the organization culture, but these are very subtle ideas that have come up. Wow, great. So delighted, for all the reflections that we had and the conversations that we had together. So before we get towards the closure of this conversation, uh, what one thing, what one maybe a statement, you know, or what one phrase, or what one word that you want to offer, uh, to the world to begin this journey of humanizing organizations? What would that be, Anusuya, from you to the world?
Be genuine, be what you are.
Hmm.
Wherever you are,
Hmm.
just be yourself, be genuine.
Hmm. Be genuine. Be.
Pretension will never be long lasting. You can pretend as a good person, you can pretend as a well wisher to someone, maybe for some time. It will definitely show its colors very soon. So be genuine, be yourself.
Be genuine. Be yourself. That's the praise you want to offer to the
Yeah,
world. Yeah.
that's when I actually feel I'm a human being, right? Because every being is a unique person. They have their own values, principles, thoughts, ideas to express.
Hmm. Hmm.
When somewhere I'm getting hindered in expressing any of these, I don't feel that I'm a human being in that particular situation.
Hmm.
Where I'm able to express myself genuinely, I feel I'm a human.
Perfect. Hmm.
You be that person, offer that to the people around you.
Hmm. Hmm. Perfect. Thank you for sharing that. That's very powerful thought, and that's the message even I'm taking away from you. When I go back to the organizations I work, and when I will think of how can I be more human, I will think of this phrase: Akhil, be genuine and be who you are. And
Right.
Akhil, you may be able to offer the
And
light.
not in fear of being entering into any conflict.
Hmm.
Just tell people this is what I am. This is
Hmm.
how I am. Accept me for what I am.
Hmm. Hmm. Wonderful, wonderful, Anusuya. Very, very, happy how this conversation has, shaped up. Uh, as I said, this is the second episode for the Human at Work series. And I'm very, very glad to have this opportunity from you, Anusuya, to take out this time and have this conversation. So very grateful to you.
Thank, thank you very much, Akhil. Thank you. It's my pleasure, as I told you.
Correct.
Thank you for listening to me. Yeah, to my stories, my views, my ideas. I tried my best. No, I shouldn't be saying I tried my best. I was genuine. So
Lovely, lovely. So you're living what you are actually trying to.
exactly, I said what I wanted to say.
Perfect,
So
perfect. And that's where we become more human, right? So very, very
so
glad.
I
Yeah,
don't even want to say I tried my best, but I was. I'm strongly saying I expressed whatever I wanted to say. Yeah.
great, great. So with that, we're coming to the closure of the agenda that we planned for this conversation. And with this, I just want to put my final remarks that this is the series that we began, and this is the series we plan to continue by inviting many of the professionals I worked with, and in their companies, I really felt more human, and I I'm looking forward to bring them on this platform and be able to listen to them and their stories, which will one allow all of us to reflect and see how we can build this culture of humanizing our organizations so that we feel more human, and that way we feel more alive as we continue to work together. Okay. So with that, I am Akhil Bhansali from Pune, uh, signing off. And I'm really feeling very, very grateful for this opportunity with you, Anusuya. Any final word before we just say and wave our hands to all our viewers?
Thank you, Akhil. Thank you for the opportunity. Again, I'm going to repeat the same thing. Be yourself, express yourself. Do not have the fear of being judged. Do not judge anyone.
Perfect.
We have to be what we are. That's it. Yeah.
Perfect. So with this, thank you. It was really awesome to be with you, and see you soon.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Sure. Thank you. Bye.